Greetings and welcome to the World Wide Well. I'm Dave Householder and I am blessed to be your Bible teacher, and we are continuing our wonderful tour through the Bible, looking at a chapter a day, and we're so glad to have you with us on the tour bus. So today we're looking at Titus chapter 3. Now Titus is a 2-page book in the Bible, so it doesn't even really qualify as a book. It's a letter from Paul to Titus, one of his co-workers, and in chapter 3 he basically says, hey, teach people to basically, when it comes down to it, respect social order and avoid chaos. He says here in verse 1, remind them to be submissive to rulers and authorities, to be obedient, to be ready for every good work, to speak evil of no one, and to avoid quarreling. Always good advice in general. Now I know that some of you are thinking, but there's exceptions. What if you are living in Stalin's Russia? What if you are living in Hitler's Germany? What if you're living in Pol Pot's Cambodia? What if you're living in North Korea? Those are extreme examples, and it's really important not to take extreme examples and use those to kind of nullify common sense. Because if there's ever been a time in American history where we need to calm down and de-escalate a little bit, it's now. People's emotions are getting the best of them, and we need free speech. We need people to be able to share their problems, their issues, their gripes, their concerns. That's so important that we protect that right, but we also want to protect civil order. And so whatever you can do to de-escalate situations, and that doesn't mean to squelch them. It's important we don't squelch people. If people have strong opinions, we need to hear them. And there's a difference of opinions on just about everything right now. And America is better off because we do have freedom of speech. But the minute we start to aggress against people or destroy property, then we've got some problems. And so whatever we believers can do to calm things down, it's a really good idea. And please hear me. I'm not saying that we should suppress truth from any political direction. I'm just saying that we should be peacemakers. Jesus said, blessed are the peacemakers. I always respected Andy Griffith in the Andy Griffith Show. Yes, I know he wasn't a real cop, but he was always about de-escalating the situation. Barney Fife was the one who would just run out there with his bullet, and he was going to, arrest people for jaywalking. And Andy Griffith would say, now Barney, let's just calm down. And whatever we can do to de-escalate situations and take the sharpness out of them and help people to talk to each other. I really do think that if we had some great discussions about those issues which divide us, respecting the other people, I think we could really get somewhere. So let's look at Paul's words to Titus. Verse 9, but avoid foolish controversies, genealogies, dissensions, and quarrels about the law, for they are unprofitable and worthless. As for a person who stirs up division, after warning him once and then twice, have nothing more to do with him. Knowing such a person is warped and sinful, he is self-condemned. So Paul is not saying this to make a rule for all time. He's saying this as advice to Titus. Obviously, this was going on in Titus's circle. Otherwise, he wouldn't bother. People don't just randomly throw these things out there. Human nature has been sort of divisive and paranoid, and they're out to get me and all that stuff. And the truth is, no one's out to get you. Most people aren't even thinking about us right now. In fact, the only reason you're thinking about me is you're watching this video. As soon as this video goes off, you'll be thinking about something else. And so people are generally not out to get us, and people generally mean pretty well. In fact, Confucius once said that people basically have some goodness in them, and they said, oh, they do not. People are horrible. He says, oh yeah, well, why don't you try this? Put a baby on the ledge of a well where you pull water out of it, and take a hardened criminal and blindfold him, and take the blindfold off. He will reach to save the baby. It's just natural instinct to help each other out. So I have faith that God made us to connect with each other, to love one another, and all of that stuff. So Titus's words, make peace, de-escalate, help people to discuss things respectfully with each other. And as the last thing, I'd like my wife to say hi. Wendy, turn around and say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
She's been sitting there having to listen to all my stuff all these years. But blessings on you. That's the good news for today. Go de-escalate wherever you can, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.